Welcome back to Sunrise, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning to you. It is July 1, Tuesday, July 1 that is. And good morning to all the mommies too who are returning to work today after maternity leave. You know, you're leaving a little one this morning. Oh my God. It's a lot of emotions going on. Good morning to all the daddies too. You know what I mean? I know how it is. It can be a little much, but guess what? You have something to which you can look forward to seeing your bundle of joy a little later on. To all of you who are always tuned in, thank you so much for making it sunrise, and the summer vibes is right here on CVM. Now, we're turning it up, we're turning up the volume, and we're turning on the vibe, because as you know, as aforementioned, it's International Reggae Day. And who better, Dennis, to celebrate with than the one and only founder of Lion Order, Rohan Marley. Yeah, it's not just about the music. It's also about, you know, deep diving into the business of reggae, right? The business of beats, with a man who knows a thing or two about building a sustainable business the Lion Order way.
All right, from the gridiron to the coffee bean, from eco-friendly headphones to a beach house in paradise, Rohan's entrepreneurial spirit is as infectious as his legendary reggae rhythm and his legendary laughter. You know him known for that, yeah? Morning, Rohan.
Yes, good morning. Greetings.
Greetings. How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Very well.
Nice.
Now, you know, son of Bob Marley, businessman, I would say serial entrepreneur, and I'm happy to be talking to you this morning because we want to talk about monetizing reggae. For many years, you know, reggae has just been about the music and the vibe and the talent, and as people who originated same, we now make as much money off it as we should, and other persons who didn't originate it, they have totally monetized it and are making the business part of the reggae their own. Talk to us about how you, as a businessman, can encourage and, you know, put out there for others to do the same and follow in your footsteps. That, yeah, the music nice, but we also need to ensure that we're setting up generational wealth so that our children and our children's children can benefit from this music that we love so much.
Oh, nice. I mean, from a business perspective, obviously anything that needs to be sustainable or last a long time, we have to put the work into it, you know, in terms of like the craft. So to build anything long lasting, we have to start working on the craft. So we need to greater music and greater musician. But to the point in terms of the business side, you got to utilize all the resources available today, you know what I mean? Because if you notice, it's no longer like anyone's special anymore. Everyone's special now because with social media, anyone can do anything and create some visuals or market themselves. So it's really how to kind of hound in on the brand and build a brand for yourself, build a name for yourself, you know what I mean? Take on the things that you love and kind of hound that in and kind of express that in a package. Because music is like that. Music is business too, you know? So like that, I think.
Rohan, one of the features of entrepreneurship is vision. Like, I find fascinating with the real entrepreneurs, their ability to see something that nobody else sees, to see a gap that nobody else sees and just move to fill it. When you look at the businesses that you have pursued, what is it that you were able to pick up on? What kind of vibe, what kind of energy, what kind of thing that allowed you to say, you know what?
We're going at that.
Coffee, cannabis, headphones,
vegan, headphones.
You know?
You know, honestly, it's like purpose, you know, and opportunity. Because even for when I started the coffee business, I mean, I wanted to be a football player, right? Because I left college playing American football, and then I wanted to play for Jamaican national soccer team. That's why I went and tried out for Harborview. You know, yeah, that's the UM days. But I needed to do something a little more because of children. And, you know, at the time, I was Miss Lauren Hill. She kind of encouraged me, like she wanted to know what is it that I do for a living. Like, it's a funny question, but at the time I was just being a father. You know what I'm saying? So the thing was, now I stumbled upon a piece of land in Jamaica, and when I purchased the land, I purchased the land with an idea like I want to do something, you know. I mean, I got to start something. I don't know what it is, but the idea was just to move forward and to take the opportunity that presents itself in that day. That day was I went to see the land. The land had coffee on the land. I asked the community if they know anything about coffee. They said they know about coffee. I said, well, we're in the coffee business because I had a little bit of, I was getting a couple of dollars in my pocket. So I knew if I would use that money that I had in my pocket to kind of start something and just believe in something. I don't know what I was doing, but just to start it, because in order to learn, you got to begin. And I started it like that. And then, you know, along the way, I introduced my friend Bali introduced me to internet. Balaram Vaswani, big up. He introduced me to the internet because I needed to bring internet into Hope Road, the Bob Marley Museum, so I can study and learn how to farm organic coffee. Because for the vision you talk about, the vision comes from Rastafari. Because the thing is, you know, when I said coffee or farming or business, I said, if I'm going to get into business, I can't be like the business. The business have to be like I. I say, what am I? I say, I'm Rastafari. What is Rastafari? Well, I'm ITAL. What is ITAL? That's organic. So that started that whole organic movement. And then within the whole farming thing and the community, and started a business thing that started to develop the thing that's called sustainability. So I just started to learn along the way. And once you learn along the way, you just keep on doing it, and it becomes something. Because like a little baby, you know, when the baby born, nobody knows what the baby will become. But as the baby grows and times, things start to develop, you know, based on the environment. So I feel like you just got to keep pushing forward in what you're in, but you got to stay steadfast to it, you know, and you got to believe in it. You have to have the passion for it. You got to love it, and you got to know it.
Yeah. Tell me, Ron, because one of the things that is quite admirable about your family, you know, the Marley children, is how you guys have managed to carry on your father's legacy in a way that it touches the globe, you know. Everybody have their torch, you know, you're doing something, Junior Gong is doing something, Ziggy Marley is doing something, you know, and that Marley name and brand is just so galvanized around the world. And I have seen other reggae artists and their children, and they're not so, you know, worldwide or global as you. How is it that, you know, you guys have managed to do that? And what would be your word of encouragement, you know, to the children, the offspring of those reggae greats, you know, to carry on their legacy as well, and not just to let it die by the wayside?
Well, I don't think I think it's all living. But the one thing I must say, you have to give it big up to the gang and Mrs. Marley, Rita Marley, because of the fort, right? The foundation, because you see Hope Road right there is where you see everything, because, you know, remember the gang, Bob Marley, the gang comes from Trenchtown.
Yes.
And, you know, it started with a passion. And the thing about it, man, is like, it starts with God Almighty, right? Rastafari. So we believe in that truth. And that truth is through the message in the music and what the music represents. So through that now, we stick with that, and we learn that through the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, a kind of a wayword, right? And once we have that wayword now, we got to stay onto that, because it's more about the purpose, right? We talk about the purpose of what is it that we're doing. And we know that what we're doing is for the betterment of what is it that our Father created, and we just want to build up on that. And that thing is Rastafari movement, in terms of not create the Rastafari movement, but the foundation that he built is to keep the movement going forward in terms of enlightenment and those things. So we know as the children, we try our best to stay within that path, because we were given that way road through Haile Selassie I, Rastafari, the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. We're given us certain principles that we abide by, and those principles just sticks within the teachings, you know. And then that teaching now, that becomes what we're doing, whether it's business or anything that we're doing. So we kind of maintain that, and it's not that anyone else is not doing as what we're doing. It's just opportunity again, you know. And like I said, our doors are always open, because business is about relationship and community, and one hand wash the other. So we're open doors, and we love ideas, because if you know today, and with social media, I love looking at all of the creatives in Jamaica, because it's so much creative people in Jamaica. Jamaica is an island filled with creativity. So if it's not really so much that the people don't move it forward, is really kind of the industry needs a little bit more development so that the people can have a better platform in terms of how we can then turn that and make that a real business down there, isn't it? So what that means is like whether it's the music industry, the film industry, that need to support the local talents, that's what it needs, is a platform. We give thanks because our father, the great gang himself, developed that his foundation through Tough Gang right there, what we call the Bob Marley Museum today. And we learned that through the studios there. He had a recording shop in the side, pressing the music in the back, the accountants on this side. So we learn to see that, and the food in the same yard. So we kind of learn to build our own ecosystem. So that's it really. But like I say, for the youths of today and the other offsprings of great ones, there's just more opportunity. And like I was telling Denisha, who's a filmmaker, that's Sharon's daughter, about, she's making movies down there in Jamaica. So I'm telling her, she should take this film to the film industry in Jamaica and start to knocking on these doors, because when these opportunities open up to the developers, we get more chances, you know what I'm saying? And that industry is there in Jamaica for that. So there's a disconnect. So when that connection can be made again in terms of the purpose of what the music industry, that organization is for, and developing artists, then you can start to see more of the things that you see with our family because of what our father did in the early days. And also, we had to, as children, we had to come together. And if we didn't come together with the teaching of Rastafari, we wouldn't have what we have today.
Yeah. Unity,
right.
Unity.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Much respect. Thanks for a great conversation. Our guest has been.
Thanks. And I just want to say one thing. I like what you were saying about your favorite Bob Marley song. I love that song. I like it when you were singing that. You kind of sing nice, man. Go on.
Who knows? Then it's on tour with the Marleys.
I'm just saying, I'm available.
Dennis Marley.
you know my lines. That's not my lines.
Yeah. Nice. Big up, Ron. Lion Order.
Lion Order. Enough respect. Of course, entrepreneur, businessman, son of the legend himself, representing the Marley Empire, Rohan Marley. Of course, as I said, he's the founder of Lion Order, and now from royalty to International Reggae Day 2025. We're going to learn more here on Sunrise. Stick around.
Right.
Are you ready? How will you sing, say? CVMTV, you ready for the ready.
Man to man is so unjust. Children, you don't know to trust. Your worst enemy could be your best friend.
What you say?